Alrighty. Today what we're going to talk about is what I've learned in 10 years of making money online or having an online business. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's dive right into it here. I've been running an online business, multiple online businesses for about a decade now, right? I just turned 35. I got started when I was around 24. Okay, and if you've seen any of my other videos or know my story, I used to work a regular job, 9 to 5, at a cable company. That was the last job I had that I actually quit. Okay, I was there for about 3 years. I really never had a job for more than like 2 to 3 years. I would always just quit and do something new, quit and do something new. And that's how I knew I needed to be like an entrepreneur. I needed to do something. I couldn't work for somebody else, right? I was just like, screw that. You get what I'm saying? I just knew I wasn't cut out for that. So I started my business. As most of you know that have seen the channel or know anything about me, is that the first year or so was pretty rough. Right? I was living with my in-laws. I really couldn't figure things out. I was hopping all over the place until I got some guidance, and then bang, it kind of popped off since then, right? So what I've learned, one, time is everything. Okay? Time is absolutely everything. When I started business, my whole motive was I wanted my time back, right? It wasn't so much that I was in financial straits, because I've never been too much of a money hungry individual, right? I was never really motivated by money in life. I just wanted what money provided, which just happens to be freedom. Right? Money provides time freedom if you can balance it right. Okay, so I went into online business and got into like network marketing and stuff at first, and that's kind of like what molded my mind at the beginning. And a lot of what network marketing preaches, okay, not that it delivers this, but what it preaches is time freedom, time with your family, time with your friends, time to do whatever you want. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, if I could have that, that's what I want, right? Why can't I work a few hours a day and be able to live the life that I want? So time is everything. Now, it also is a curse, all right? And I kind of learned this the hard way, and it's been hitting me a lot more recently, at least to where I've just noticed it. I've realized what's going on recently. That when you have a lot of time, okay, so with my online business, it's allowed me to make 6 figures, right, for years on end. I've had some probably a bad year, right, where things kind of took a turn for the worse, and then I was able to bring it back up again. But, you know, it's provided me with a 6-figure income and very little time investment, no matter what businesses was, whether it was like network marketing or selling my own product or affiliate marketing, selling other people's products, or even coaching. No matter what it was, I always lived by the fact that I didn't want to spend all day working. I wanted to have more free time than I did work time, right? And that was just always because I'm a very family-oriented guy. Right? I love hanging out with family. I have 4 kids myself, right? As of this day, I have 4 kids. I don't plan on having any more, but you know how that goes, right? So I have 4 kids right now. I have a wife who is literally my best friend, and we play video games together, right? So I love spending time with family. I love giving myself and my time to family. And you know, I have a brother-in-law, a mother-in-law, a father-in-law that I love to death, my mom, my dad. I love spending, my brother, I love spending time with my family, right? So that was my intention, my goal always. What happened though is that there was just an enormous amount of time. When you go from working a job, Okay. And let's say you're at a job and you're making like 3 to 5K a month. All right. And that job is taking you 40 hours a week, if not more. That is a majority of your day. Okay. A big ass chunk of your day. So when you go home, you're just like wanting to chill, and then you got to get up and restart again. And then the weekend's this tiny compared to the rest of the week, if you get a weekend, right? So you're making 3 to 5K. Well, I had figured out how to literally to triple that, right? And get to 20K and work like 4 hours a week. I literally was able to figure out how to do the 4-hour work week by Tim Ferriss, which is the book that propelled my entrepreneurial journey, right? After the whole rapping thing, because I was rapping at one point in time when I was like 20 to 25, and it was more like a hobby, right? But it wasn't making any money. That was a problem. But when I came across a 4-hour work week, I said, man, I could do this. Now, it wasn't the business model he was talking about in the book, but I eventually was able to create that. Okay, selling other people's products, doing affiliate marketing, selling my own products, then coaching, right? So I was able to create that and mold it around that time frame. But what happened is that I had so much free time. And when you have free time, you need to fill that time with stuff, because naturally we want to be entertained. And what would happen is I would be spending a ton of money just eating out and doing things that when you have a job, you don't have time to do, right? So it kind of screwed things up to where I had some couple rough years where it was just money was super tight and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. I was spending way too damn much. That's just what it was, right? And it just so much time to where just recently I realized that I'm getting a kick out of doing work, right? Getting a kick, and it's not so much work. It's stuff like this, right? Spreading the knowledge I know to people rather than just kind of being in the background. If people find me for my coaching, then I'm willing to help them, sort of thing, right? So it can be a gift and a curse. That's one thing I definitely learned is once you have time, right, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, because it's extremely rare to be able to have something like this. And this is what I teach people how to do, right? Is how to create this in their life, how to get that time back. And then, you know, what I'm trying to do now is teach people that get their time back what to do with that time when you get it, right? Because you don't know. You just don't know. You think you know. It's like, oh, I'm going to go do a bunch of stuff. But then when you get it, it's kind of like, well, you have so much time throughout the day. You start to realize how much time a job took. So time is everything. It's a gift and a curse. I also realized one thing I learned is working from home. Home is a gift at first and then a curse. Okay? I worked from home literally for like up until a few months ago, right? This is an office I rent, an office space I'm renting out now, right? So up until a few months ago, I was always at home. I had a home office. I'd be around my family, and it was amazing, but it's not conducive to productivity. Okay, it's just not. I mean, I'm a gamer, right? So I like to play video games. My wife's a gamer too, so we like to play my whole family games, right? Kids, my sons, my daughter, everybody plays video games, right? So we play together. It's difficult to do work when just in another room, you got a bunch of gaming systems. I literally have like every single gaming system you can get, right? So it's like, you know, it's just not conducive to productivity. Then recently I had a newborn, right? We just introduced our son Luca into the world, you know, not too many months ago. And you know, you get the crying and you want to help because you're there, and it's just not conducive to productivity. If you're a single person, right, or you're a couple, I could see it being that way. That just didn't happen in my situation. So when I wanted to go push and be more productive than just like 4 hours a week type stuff, it became kind of difficult and challenging, right? Plus, I tend to be a little more scatterbrained at times. I get distracted easily. So I have to literally like lock myself in a box and pay, you know, a ton of money for it a month just so I can do some work, right? So that's one thing, is Working from home is a gift. And you may have experiences recently with the whole, COVID thing that's happened, is that you might be working from home. A lot of people have worked from home this past year. And I know a ton of people that have loved it, but I also know people that haven't, right? And I know businesses that have said things like people are less productive, right? Because they're home and they can kind of get away with things. And it's just, to each his own, right? You may be a lot more attentive and be able to focus better than I can at home, right? But I just have way too much fun shit to do at home in order for me to do these videos, right? It's just extremely hard. So my productivity level in the past few months has absolutely skyrocketed, okay? Which, of course, it's conducive to everything else, right? So it's going up, and that's because I allot certain hours of the day where I'm in a space where I can just be on my own and work. So that's another thing I've learned from having an online business for about 10 years now. Another thing I've learned is potential. Okay, and this is something I battled for, I'd say, probably the last 3 years. It's really hit me. Okay, yeah, making 10 to 20 grand a month is amazing, right? It's amazing to go from, a college dropout, working sales jobs, to quitting, to living with in-laws, to starting a business from scratch, and taking it to six figures within like the first year, right? And then from then on making six figures. So it's amazing. I know I'm blessed in that sense, right? Anybody that is, my students that get on board that make money, anybody that's able to make money this way is blessed. I'm not complaining about it. By no means do I want the other option. I try to help as many people as I possibly can come to this side of the fence. Okay, that's what Own Your Life is all about. That's what my brand, my company is all about. It's about owning your life. Come to this side of the fence. But what it was always about was potential. And I would sit there and go, okay, well, I have this, it's like having a superpower, right? And you have this way, this means of only working like 4 hours a week. Okay, and making enough money. You're not stupid rich, right? Like, you're not wealthy making six figures, but it's enough money to buy you your time back and to where you don't have to do things you don't want to do anymore, right? You literally become your own boss. So now you have all day, you can do whatever you want, and your schedule is super flexible. Okay, so you have that. Once I was able to do it for so long, I would sit there and just kind of look around and go, am I wasting the potential? It's almost like being 7 feet tall and you work at Subway, right? It's like, I run into people sometimes that are like 7 feet tall and they work at Best Buy. I'm like, why didn't you play basketball? Like, oh, I was just never into it. It's like, damn, you could have gave that height to somebody else. Not that they could have, right? But it's potential, right? It's potential at the end of the day. So that's why I sit there and go, man, if I have the ability to turn on a camera and express myself on a camera and share this knowledge, right? And one person is able to come and see me and click with my personality and through all the haters and all that shit that you deal with, right? Which I will deal with it to help just even one person come to this side, right? And owning their life. Then should I be doing it? Right? That's what it kind of was. It's like, what is they say in Spider-Man is with great power comes great responsibility, right? So it's like I feel like I have this power that I'm able to teach people how to do this. And I've been doing it for years, but just never pushing it, right? I never push it out there. People would have to find me, sort of thing. So, and that's how I was able to keep that lifestyle to where it was very willy-nilly. I'm not obligated to do much of anything with my time. Right? But then it gets to a point where it's like, man, how am I going to feel when I'm 80 years old and I would sit there, old, God willing, right? Knock on wood somewhere. But to the point where it's like, man, what if I did a little more? How many lives would I impacted? How many lives would I have changed? Right? So that's what hits me at the end of the day. It's like, okay, that was the major one, was potential. And that's why I'm starting this whole channel. You get what I'm saying? The Own Your Life brand is going to become really, really, really big. And it's all about helping people give the middle finger to living a mediocre life. Right? That's what it's all about. It's like mediocrity is for those who choose it. Period. If you don't want mediocrity, you don't have to have mediocrity. Come over to this side. All right? This is where we own our lives. This is our life. Life was given to you. Own it. Don't let somebody else take it. Right? So, and just in doing that, I personally feel that I'm accomplishing this. Right? I'm check marking that. So those are essentially the main things that I've noticed in the past 10 years, right? Besides like managing money and stuff, like getting better at that, because that's never taught to you in school, right? It's how to manage your money, especially when you start making more money than you've ever made in your life. It can just seep through the cracks. you start, so there's things in that, lessons in that, which I'll talk about in other videos, right? But the main things is time. It's the time that you have. It's the working from home situation that, like, I wanted it, and then it got to a point like, okay, I wanted to get out of it. I want to go to some other place to work and be able to go home and chill. That was a big thing. It's like to separate home and work. They would always mix, and sometimes when I was home watching a show, I would be working. Right? It's like, nah, I want to go to the office, work, leave everything at the office. It's literally where I have all my stuff here. It's I got computer screens and you'll see it in other videos, right? It's, a MacBook and all that stuff here. I leave it here. And then when I go home, I got my gaming stuff and I hang out with the family. Right? And then of course, fulfilling potential, because if you are able, with my help or not, are able to figure this out, or something better than the 9 to 5, than that grind, if you are able to, you have a blessing. You've been blessed, right? You're fortunate, because many people don't ever get to this point, ever. It's extremely rare. Most people don't get to quit their jobs and make an online business. It's extremely rare. Right? So get some help in doing it, so it's not so rare for you to make it happen. But if you are able to do it, understand that you have a huge power there. Okay? And I feel it comes with a certain level of responsibility. Mine just so happens to be to share it with you guys. Okay? It's to let you guys know. So if somebody gets inspired by this video, awesome. I'm doing what I got to do. Okay? So I hope you like this video. My name's Luke Cameron. I am the founder of Own Your Life. It's a company where we essentially teach people how to build online businesses and give the middle finger to living a mediocre life. If you like this channel, subscribe it. If you like the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, like the video. Life is yours. Own it.